Hello, you are listening to a very special episode of a classy little podcast where we are not now Periscope, where we are talking about Podcast Day, which is September 30th. So hopefully we'll put this out tonight.
Yeah.
And, with me is, let's point over there.
Hi, I'm James, the co-host.
And
Kitty.
that's Kitty.
We're like the Brady Bunch.
We are like the Brady Bunch. I know we have an open seat if Ann B. Davis wants to come in. Yeah. So Kitty, what podcast do you listen to?
I really got into You Must Remember This.
Yeah, we love that podcast. Karina Longworth, we love you. James especially.
Yeah.
And I do like Good Job Brain. And unfortunately, not very much comes out now, but
I know.
life happens.
Oh, yeah.
And what else? What else do I like? What else do I listen to?
What was the one about Adventure Time that you got into? That you've never even seen that show.
I know, I've never seen the show.
There's one called The Thrilling Adventure Hour. Have you heard that one? It's like a live old-timey radio broadcast, but it's they make it now, and it's another one with Paul F. Tompkins, who's everywhere. And
who's everywhere?
Really, as a comedian, he never really took off, but as in terms of podcasting and like improv, he really gets to shine. And I never appreciated him before, but now I hear him on like 5 or 6 different podcasts, and he's amazing. Incredible talent.
Yeah, so I found out last night. I
heard that Night Vale.
Yeah, Night Vale's supposed to be a really good one. I am Morpheus, who's in the chat room. We were talking to him last night. He does a podcast about horror movie situations, and we're
Death by horror.
Death by horror, and he puts himself, or his friend puts him in these situations in horror movies to see how he'd react, and his friend's just like, "Nope, you're dead. Like You're gonna die. You didn't survive."
Anxiety thinking about that.
I know, but the nice thing, because I'm like, I can't watch horror movies. I get nightmares. He's like, no, neither do I. He just asks me these questions. So yeah, I really want to hear it. And his voice is fantastic. I think last night in our blab, John and I, who we hosted it, we just shut up and let James and Morpheus talk because it was like, oh, lovely radio voices.
These were made for my ears.
No, they're not made for my ears either. I have to like bring them up.
Turn them.
Yeah, they're really weird.
Oh,
yeah.
Wait.
I hate them.
Oh, but that makes it a lot better.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Cooking with gas.
Cooking with gas.
I have to plug one more. It's called Mystery Show, which is awesome. Where this girl, I love her voice. It's kind of weird, and she has a little lisp, or it's, I don't know, something off, but she spends like an hour each show investigating some weird random little thing in some person's life. It's not like murder investigation or anything. Just like some guy once saw a picture from a Welcome Back Kotter lunchbox. And they're like, that was never in the show. And they spent the whole episode trying to figure out how they came up with that photo.
Whose height were they trying to find out?
Jake Gyllenhaal.
Jake Gyllenhaal.
Mm-hmm. That was a great episode. Oh, so good. He's 5'11 3/4, by the way.
Oh.
What do you find out?
Wiki Shuffle sounds really good. Are you reading that? Yeah. Morpheus is telling us each Tuesday the hosts press random article in Wikipedia and talk nonsense about whatever it throws up.
Kind of like what we were
That's
doing
what we
on
were
Reddit.
doing. Yeah, because Kitty and I are working on, I'm like going like this, but really I should be going, Kitty and I were playing around with doing a podcast, and we were just reading the first page of Reddit Ask Women and answering the questions. And we're like, I don't know what I'm going to do with this yet, but I like it. So I'm trying to think what podcasts I listen to that haven't already been mentioned. It's like, You Must Remember This.
I'd have to like go into mine to look.
You can actually in Blab. You can pretty much. You might be frozen, but you should be able to. No, like yeah. Yeah, I listen to a lot of podcasts about podcasting, like The Audacity to Podcast and Podcasters Roundtable, and James, you have no idea. You got to meet Daniel J. Lewis. He is
I recognize him from one time when we watched the live Google Hangout of the Roundtable. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, he's like, I get verklempt just thinking about it.
There was the Story Song podcast.
Oh God, the Story Song podcast is no longer available. Their RSS feed is dead and you can't get it anymore on anything.
Yeah.
They were amazing. They would take songs that had stories within it. Like I'm trying to think of a good one. Oh, the night Chicago died. And they would break it
50 Ways to
down.
Leave Your Lover.
50 Ways to Leave Your Lover. It was amazing. They would break it down and they'd do the history of it, and they were so funny. And I Twitter stalked the guy like 2 years after they pod faded, and the last thing I had heard was like, we're coming back next season with new episodes, and then like
No.
nothing. And I finally Twitter stalked him like last month, and I was like, hey, not to bother you, but whatever happened to your podcast? And he's like, wow, this is my work Twitter, but like
Who gave you this?
it was more like me going to their old Twitter page and looking through to find out the host's name. Like, yeah. And he's like, well, life happened, and I moved, we had a kid, like stuff like that. And I'm like, okay, I promise I won't bother you again. I'm not going to. I'll stop stalking you, but if you could send me a lock of hair, that'd be great. But
Just a little DNA.
Yeah.
That's all I'm asking for.
just so I could clone your podcast and listen to it again. But yeah, it was that one and like Good Job Brain. Those were the two that really started me on podcasts.
Good Job Brain is what got me into
Yeah,
it.
I got
Oh.
you into that.
Radiolab is an
yeah.
amazing podcast. Yeah, it's a radio show too. They just put it out in podcast form, but that's what got me started. Radiolab.
Yeah.
They're still running strong. They may have
So
slowed a little bit, but
How did you get into listening to NPR? I feel like it was really hard for me to get into NPR. Yeah, Kitty's on
It echoes though.
yeah.
I come from an NPR family. It was just in my blood.
Oh.
We'd drive around Saturday mornings listening to Car Talk and whatever else was on at the time. But yeah, it's firmly rooted in my nostalgia. So
See, I hated talk radio, but I think it's because like my grandparents listened to it and it was all Rush Limbaugh, and I was like, why is this guy so angry?
well, I wouldn't call NPR talk radio, really.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to think. Oh, I listen to so many good ones. Oh, Nick's Cast. They are three guys named Nick. They're like best friends. They talk about
They're all
anime
named
and video. They're all named Nick. Yeah, it's really funny. And
It's like Nick and his roommate Nick.
yeah, Nick and Nick and Nick. And they talk about like anime and pop culture, and they're pretty funny. There was one episode about Pokemon. I don't know anything about Pokemon, but I was like, okay, they followed me on Twitter. I'll check them out. And I'm listening to it and I'm laughing, and I'm like, I have no idea what I'm laughing at, but they're really funny. Yeah.
Oh, I listened to one called Sawbones. That's really good too.
Yeah, you told me about that.
It's about like weird, misguided medical things of the past. And it's a husband and wife team, I think, who do it, who are very witty too. And
Mhm.
it doesn't take
Sounds
itself too
familiar.
seriously, but it's very good.
Yeah, I think you would like that a lot. Yeah. So
So
So, anything else to celebrate Podcast Day? Anything else we want to talk about?
listen
Oh.
to Classy Little Podcast.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, this is my sombrero from our sangria that we made for the Bum Wine Bob podcast. They do a live call-in show every, I think it's Saturday or Sunday, I believe. I think it's Sunday. But I'm like, oh, if I tried to drink wine out of a paper bag, the kind of wine you put in a paper bag every Sunday.
You're not going to work Monday.
I'm
Yeah.
not going to work on Monday.
God,
No.
Monday would be really bad.
I know, but he does have some good recipes for mixing them. So I was like, hey, I have a great recipe for, yeah, like Mad Dog. Yeah.
Is that a kind of
Um,
wine? Mad Dog 2020?
Yeah.
Kind that you would find in a paper bag.
Paper bag. Bum
Yeah.
wine. Low end.
Low
I'm
end.
surprised. Mad Dog sounds like such a
Like
good
Mad
vintage.
Dog.
Uh-huh.
Low end, high kick. That's like our tagline.
Mhm.
Like, we should make that our tagline.
Yeah, we need a new one.
I guess so.
Mhm.
Yeah. Thunderbird. Yeah, he talks about Thunderbird, and I think it's like Wild Irish Rose,
Yep.
which I've never heard of any of these. And he's like, they're $2. I'm like,
It's worth a
okay,
shot. Yeah.
no, not even.
No, we don't go below $5.
No.
Yeah.
Boone's Farm is like Kool-Aid with vodka in it that they just put in a wine glass.
Uh-huh.
Like... Oh boy, hat fell.
What are you drinking now?
Oh, I got your boxed wine recommendation.
The same one I got.
Yeah.
Yay! It's true. I can bring my Voda box. Really good, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah.
It gets sweet after a while, but yeah.
It gets you after a while.
Yes, it gets sweet after a while.
Sweet. Okay.
Yeah, bumwine.com. Yeah, I think that's either Bumwine Bob's website. Yeah, I think that is. But yeah, he is pretty funny. So yeah, anybody in the chat room, if you want to throw out more podcasts that you listen to, homemade wine kits are cool. I want to try that.
Voda actually makes like bricks like they used to sell in Prohibition. It's like I'm
Oh,
pretty
yeah.
sure they do this. It's called a Voda brick. I assume it's like fermented grapes and other matter that you just throw together in like a big pot or water jug and it turns into wine. I think in like an hour.
Yeah.
No, it's probably a matter of weeks.
Well, I keep seeing one come up in my Twitter that's like 7-day wine kit. And I'm like, well, it's 7 days. But at the same time, if I got a concentrated brick of wine, I'd be like, how bad could it really be? Let me just
You just
like
ate the brick?
not the whole thing, just a bite. I'd try it.
You would live through it.
I feel like it would be like when I was little and I would suck on bouillon cubes.
Yeah.
$3 a bottle for a
Oh,
decent
wow.
kit, which
That's
is
pretty
pretty good
cool.
price. Yeah, 4
Oh.
pounds of sugar. That's what I always forget about wine. It's like, oh yeah, I'm drinking 4 pounds of sugar today.
Yeah, you have to save your carbs for wine. That's just a
Yeah,
rule
that's the
of
only-
dieting.
Carbs, yeah.
Yeah, Morpheus says The Truth is another good storytelling podcast. That should be really good.
The truth.
Oh, so one thing we got today, I'm really excited about this. We got tasting wine and cheese.
Yeah, free
Yeah,
things.
Free things because of our podcast. No, but like look at how beautiful this is. Like
Very nice.
I know.
And who's the guy? The Connecticut guy sent this to us, or do you know who?
Adam Centimore, and he's at 100 loves on Twitter, and he teaches about wine and cheese. Yeah, I think at 100 loves. But like, okay, so the page, it'll talk about the wine,
Mm-hmm.
and it'll tell you the cheese that loves it.
Wow.
Yeah, and then A Match Made in Heaven, and he talks about what pairs really well with it, and he has a whole glossary of like the perfect cheese plate, how to serve your wine, like why, like which is better for wine, corks or screw caps, how long will my bottle stay good if it's open. Like I'm really excited for this book, plus I want to put it on my coffee table.
Plus, we could just go through every week and try a different wine and cheese pairing.
That's what I was
We
thinking.
don't have to do any more work. Not
I
that
know.
we do put a lot of effort into our pairings.
We just buy any wine and cheese. Yeah, but I'm
That's a good
really
pairing.
really excited for this book. So, and I'm hoping to have him on too. I'm thinking for the 20th episode, like every 10 episodes, we actually do a classy podcast.
We actually go
where
back to a wine.
a
We
wine
learn
and
about wine.
cheese. Yeah.
I
Yes.
think, yeah.
I'm hoping to have him on.
The more we try to teach about wine, the more clear it becomes to, I think, the listener, like, oh, they don't actually know anything about, because people know a lot about wine. And they,
Yeah.
come on the journey with us. Let's not try to be professorial in our,
It's amazing this is in a wine glass because I have my mug right here. That's
Uh-huh.
perfectly fine for wine.
there's
But
wine.
there's wine in this mug. But no, there's actually coffee from a few years ago because I've been watching podcast day stuff on Blab.
A few years ago.
Hours?
There you go.
She said years.
That's the word. That's the culprit.
It's not me. It's the wine. It's the wine talking. I should just put the wine to the mic. All right. Well, so this was fun. James, thanks for coming on. Kitty, thanks for coming on. Oh, let me give you guys some props. I don't know how I got up to 50.
Yeah. because of Kitty. Because you're
Oh,
sycophant. Yeah, it's not fair.
Kitty is my biggest fan.
She is
Oh,
little
good.
fan.
Look at little pictures of little man just pop
I
up when
know.
I give
It's
props.
wonderful.
It's just so cute. Oh, little man should be on here. I need his own little
Get his open. There's an open seat.
just for little man. All right. Hey Morpheus, thanks for stopping by.
Thank you.
Thank you for your lovely voice. And Det Shepherd.
Thanks for all your contribution. Yeah, we like Det Shepherd.
Yeah.
I don't know who you are, but I like you.
I just keep thinking like, don't say Def Leppard, don't say Def Leppard. But yeah.
Def Leppard.
Def
Maybe that
Leppard.
is the guy from Def Leppard, the one-armed drummer.
It's yeah. I love Def. Def is hot. All right. So thanks guys for coming in.
Have a podcast day.
Have a happy podcast day. Bye-bye. Thanks for stopping by. Let's see. Do I X myself out? There we go.